So far we have discussed the one reaction which is the eutectic reaction that we have seen, right? So eutectic reaction, uh, eutectic reaction comes with the liquid transforms into the austenite and cementite. That reaction that we have seen, and the eutectic mixture of austenite plus cementite is the means the eutectic mixture of austenite and cementite is called as the uh, that mixture of means at that particular temperature and at that particular composition, whatever composition is there, that composition is called as eutectic composition, and that mixture is called as the uh, that mixture is called as the lead burite mixture, right? So we have seen the this is not the correct slide. Eutectic reaction. Yes, so at the eutectic reaction, what is happening at 4.3% carbon and 1147 degrees centigrade, liquid decomposes into austenite plus cementite Fe3C, and the mixture which is having 50-50% of austenite plus cementite, that is called as the lead burite mixture. Okay, so far we have seen this. Now let us come again to that particular diagram. Here what is happening? Here you can see austenite is there. Here the complete form of austenite means all the crystals are created of austenite, and you can see here some kind of nucleation is there. So that nucleation is with respect to Fe3C. Okay, so that is called as the intersolid fusion reactions, in which the uh, cementite is getting generated at the grain boundaries due to its means as it is reaching the particular temperature and pressure, that's why that cementite is getting generated there. Now my last lecture we have concluded with one of the question, and that I have asked you to please go through all the literatures and all the data which is available online, and I wanted to know that if this cementite is present only at 6.7 degrees, sorry, 6.7 percentage of the carbon percentage, and if the austenite is only stable up to 2.14% of the carbon. Okay, if the austenite is up to 2.14% and cementite is only can be means cementite is having 6.7% carbon, then how austenite is available after 2.14% and how cementite is available after 6 point means before 6.7%. So have anyone is anyone have the necessary explanation for this, is how this is happening? Because we have seen that while seeing the phases, we have seen that austenite is the phase which is stable only at only from 1493 degrees centigrade to around 727 degrees centigrade with carbon percentage up to 2.14% carbon, and the cementite is the phase which is present from uh, this cementite phase is present from around 1147 degrees centigrade to up to the room temperature, and that cementite phase can only be obtained when the carbon percentage is at 6.7%. You can see here cementite Fe3C it is written, and that Fe3C is only present up to 6.7% carbon, means up not up to but sharp 6.7% carbon, means not less than that and not more than that is required for Fe3C, that is cementite. So now why the cementite is present over here? Why the lead burite is sorry the austenite is present over here? Do you, if you have any explanation, then please let me know. So I will wait for around 30 seconds for you to answer. If you have any explanation for this, you can answer why this is happening here, right? So I cannot see anyone is responding. So you are not aware about this thing, right? So we will move ahead. We will move ahead with. Yes, I would like to open the Microsoft Paint and share that screen to you, because it is very difficult. We cannot draw circle and all here. In this slide, I have tried, but we cannot draw the circle and all. Can you see Microsoft Paint on your screen? I think it is not sharing right now. So let us share the complete screen. Okay, I feel now it is okay. So now we have said that the is it sharing my complete screen? No. Yes, now it is sharing my complete screen. Okay, so what is happening with respect to the, suppose this is one of the crystal, right? Then suppose in this crystal there are means various grains. This is the crystal structure and these are the various grains which are available. Now this 100% austenite is present, means please wait, I have to grab some things. Okay, so for example, now if the austenite is present over here, right? Austenite crystal are present up to 2.14% of carbon. And if I talk about Fe3C crystal, then cementite crystals are present. Let us not draw all the details, but you can say that cementite crystal, that is Fe3C crystal, are having means 100% Fe3C is present in these crystals. Now we are at the eutectic point. Okay, so now we are at the eutectic point here, at this particular point, where we are having 4.3% of the carbon and 1147 degrees centigrade of the temperature. So what is happening here? You can see here. Now it is 100% liquid, right? The 100% thing is liquid here. Now it is getting converted into solid form. So while its solidification, as it is the eutectic reaction, what is happening, that all the phases, means after liquid immediately we are getting the solid phase. So no intermediate phases are there, that means liquid to solid, liquid plus solid, then slowly they are transforming into solid and then we are getting complete solid. No such thing is happening in case of eutectic reaction. So what is happening here? So here complete liquid is getting directly converted, that complete liquid is getting directly converted into solid, which is 50% austenite, 50% cementite. So now how this is happening? Let us see the solidification process. I have asked you to go through the solidification process. While solidification, ideally what is happening? We are getting nucleation of the grains, like we have seen that small grains are getting nucleated over here, right? So here for example, these small grains have nucleated, these small grains have nucleated either homogeneously or heterogeneously, and they are growing in the particular directions, right? But in in a eutectic reaction, no such thing is happening. We are into the liquid phase, and directly we are coming into what? Solid phase. So in this solid phase, for example, this is the solid phase. So directly we are getting what? Grains. Directly we are getting grains and grain boundaries in case of the eutectic reaction. Okay. So now in this particular eutectic reaction, what is exactly happening? Whenever we are reaching at this particular point, when we are cooling from this point to, means when we are at the 4.3% carbon percentage, and when we draw tri line through that, at that time what is happening? This Fe3C and austenite is getting nucleated and the crystals are getting formed simultaneously. So now how the composition is getting decided there, means what is the composition of the cementite and what is the composition of the austenite. So just for your understanding purpose, I have said to you that 50% austenite is there, 50% cementite is there, but this is not at all ideally possible. Okay, so ideally while solidification process, what is happening? For example, in the in this liquid phase, when at that very moment when the eutectic reaction is happening, so at this particular point only isothermal process is there, and this process requires time, right? This process requires time, but immediately we are getting, means liquid phase is there and liquid phase is present at this 1147 degrees centigrade, and immediately we are landing into the solid phase, which is mixture of Fe3C plus austenite. So now what is happening here? We have said that Fe3C is having 6.7% carbon percentage, and austenite is having 2.14 percentage of carbon. So let us say that, let us imagine that it is a not a instantaneous process, but that process has occurred over a time. So we have to draw one intermediate thing also. So intermediately what is happening? For example, some crystal of the let us try to draw the crystal of red crystals are of the crystals of the austenite. So some crystals have nucleated here of austenite, right? Austenite crystals. So now austenite is having carbon percentage up to 2.14% carbon, and our mixture, which is complete mixture, it is having how much percentage of carbon? It is having 4.3% of carbon, right? हमारे पूरे मिक्सचर में 4.3% कार्बन है, but our austenite is stable only up to 2.14% carbon. So let us assume that it is having 2.14 percentage of carbon. So as soon as in this liquid we are having 4. 4.3 percentage of carbon, and this austenite is having how much percentage of carbon? 2.14% of carbon. So now where this remaining 4.3% carbon has gone? Because this austenite has only utilized while solidification only 2.14 percentage of carbon, right? So the liquid which is adjacent to these crystals will get rich amount of supply of carbon. So remaining like 2.14 में से 4.3 निकाल दो तो अपना बचेगा around 2 point, let us assume that 2.2%. Okay, so 2.2% carbon, 2.2% carbon is getting rejected due to formation of these austenite crystals. Okay, so red is austenite and blue is suppose Fe3C, Fe3C. See. So what will happen? Immediately this particular region will get rich amount of supply of the carbon. And due to this rich amount of supply of the carbon, as these crystals keep on growing, as these crystals keep on growing, for example, these crystals have grown at this particular level, so it is happening in the fraction of the second, but we are assuming that it is happening slowly. Okay, so we are slowed down the process in for our understanding purpose. Here whatever liquid is there, remaining liquid, it is now getting converted into rich amount of suppose this not oxygen, carbon. So what will happen here, the carbon percentage will go up to 6.67 or 6.7% of carbon, and due to which in this particular region the Fe3C crystal will also get nucleated and generated at the same time. So this is how the mechanism works here also. You can see here at this particular point you are getting austenite plus Fe3C crystals. I hope that you have understood this particular mechanism, that how it is working. We are having 4.3% of carbon. Here whatever austenite phase is present, it is also having the carbon percentage up to 2.14 percentage only. Fe3C phase, यहाँ पर जो Fe3C phase है, that is having carbon percentage up to 6.7 percentage only. But the amount of carbon means austenite and the amount of Fe3C is depending upon what, the overall carbon percentage. Means if we are in this particular region at the left hand side of the eutectic point, there austenite will be more and cementite will be less, as compared to the right hand side region where austenite will be less and cementite will be more, because here more amount of carbon is present, so that's why more amount of Fe3C will get formed by raising the carbon percentage up to 6.7 percentage, and here more amount of, means less amount of carbon is there, so more liquid is prone to get converted into the austenite, because austenite is stable up to 2.14 percentage of carbon. So now if these things are clear in your mind, then we can move ahead with the eutectoid reaction. Otherwise I can take it again. Okay, so this is also, you can let me know by that time I am redundant, whatever the things are redundant in these slides I am covering those things. If you have understood the concept of eutectic reaction, then please let me know. Otherwise we can move ahead, or if those things are not understood, how the cementite is present at the 4.3% of carbon and how austenite is present at 4.3% of carbon, if these things are not clear into your mind, then please you can let me know through the chat box, right? So now you can see here the same type of diagram is there. A1, A2, A3, A4, ACM is given. You have to be aware about what is A1, what is A2, A3 and ACM, all these things. You can see here lead burite is the mixture of eutectic, perlite is the mixture of eutectoid, and other phases like cementite, austenite, alpha ferrite and delta ferrite are the phases or the allotropes of the iron. Okay, allotropes, we can call them as allotropes of the iron, but why we are calling them as phase lead burite and perlite is just due to their physical nature, distinguished physical nature. Okay, and those lead burite are also present in this mixture of austenite plus cementite, and here also that lead burite is present. Okay, so is this part of the diagram is clear into your mind? This is the eutectic reaction, right? So the different versions. So here it is written phase mixture observed in Fe3C diagram First is the perlite, which is at below 727 degrees centigrade, and another is the lead burite, which is from 727 degrees centigrade to this 1147 degrees centigrade, right? 1147, right? Okay, so perlite consists of alternate layers of ferrite and cementite. It has properties somewhere between ferrite and cementite. The average carbon content of perlite is 0.76%. So you can see here perlite is 0.76 or 0.8% carbon is the perlite. Yes, it is written over here 0.76% of carbon. And same for lead burite. Lead burite is the eutectic mixture. This is peritectic mixture, eutectoid mixture, and this is the eutectic mixture. So eutectic mixture of austenite and cementite in the form of alternate layers, the average carbon content of lead burite is 4.3% of carbon. A few comments on Fe3C, FeC diagram or Fe iron carbon diagram. Carbon occupies interstitial position in Fe. It forms a solid solution alpha austenite and delta, alpha gamma and delta iron, and the maximum solubility of BCC in alpha ferrite is limited, that is 0.25% at 727 degrees centigrade, as BCC has relatively small interstitial position, and maximum solubility of carbon in FCC in austenite is only up to 2.14% carbon at 1147 degrees centigrade, and FCC has the larger interstitial position. Okay, so I think you have understood these things. BCC APF, if you calculate the APF of BCC structure, then that is more denser than the FCC. Okay, so that's why the alpha ferrite is having BCC crystal structure and less amount of carbon, because carbon goes into the interstitial space here, and the FCC, which is austenite, having more amount of carbon because comparatively larger space is present in case of the FCC crystal structure. That's why we are getting austenite with FCC crystal structure. Then mechanical properties. Cementite is very hard and brittle and can strengthen the steel. Now, what is the meaning of hardness and strength? We have seen properties in the prerequisite classes. So hardness is the ability to develop the scratches, and strength is the ability to sustain the load bearing capacity, is called as the strength in short. Now, whenever we are having cementite in our structure, at that time what is happening, that complete mixture, which is we can say that alpha ferrite plus cementite, that mixture is called as perlite, no doubt, but that complete mixture is behaving like a composite mixture, just like a reinforced concrete. In reinforced concrete, we are having steel bars which are ductile and malleable, and we have cement mixture or concrete mixture which is hard and brittle. So combinedly we are getting strength. Okay, same is in the case of the suppose the pine trees, same is the case, they are having more strength. Or we have said that teak wood is having more amount of strength. Why it is having more amount of strength? Because it is having some fibers which are ductile and malleable, and the bonding material which is hard and brittle, and that composition is such that in such a proportion that it is creating a good amount of strength. That's why we are using teak wood, है ना, सागवान जो बोलते हैं हम लोग, that teak wood for all the means household purpose, whatever we are using, which is currently being getting replaced rapidly by using the polymers also. Okay, so cementite is that type of mixture. Sorry, the role of cementite is to give the hardness, and if that cementite is present in correct proportion, whatever we call it as a perlitic mixture, then it creates more amount of strength as it is hard and brittle. Mechanical properties depend on the microstructure. This is very much important. I have said to you that we have to change the mechanical properties. So for that matter, you have to understand whatever the microstructure that we are discussing right now. and you have to understand what is the mechanism behind formation of that microstructure. So just now we have discussed the formation of the eutectic mixture, how that microstructure is behaving, and how by just by changing the carbon percentage or temperature you can get the different phase in case of the eutectic reaction. Magnetic properties, that is alpha ferrite is magnetic below 768 degrees centigrade, and austenite is non-magnetic. Alpha ferrite which is present above 768 degrees centigrade. Where this alpha ferrite is present above 768 degrees centigrade, you can see here. This is the region of the alpha ferrite. The smallest region you can see here between this line of temperature as well as this red line. This is the region where alpha ferrite is present. So this alpha ferrite is present up to 0.00 from 0.008% to 0.02% of carbon, and it is magnetic or ferromagnetic. No, sorry, the ferromagnetic, yes, above 727 degrees centigrade. Sorry, non-magnetic above 727 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that is written over here. Alpha ferrite is magnetic below 768 or 727. We call, let us call it as 727 degrees centigrade, and it is non-magnetic above this temperature. Now FEC alloy can be of two types, steels and cast iron. This is very much important detail in FEC diagram. In FEC diagram you are having steels also and cast iron also. So how to differentiate that? You can see here in this diagram, hypoeutectoid steel, hypereutectoid steel, and here wherever this eutectic reaction is happening, in that particular position we are having cast iron. So eutectic mixture means steel is only up to 2.14% of the carbon. Whatever is up to 2.14% of the carbon will be called as steel, that is up to the phase of austenite. So that's why it is very easy to do heat treatment process, and we are always going or considering heat treatment processes on steel where the carbon percentage is up to 2.14% of carbon. So no need to go into the liquid region. समझ में आ रही है बात को? You don't need to go into the liquid region if you need to change the properties of the steel. Why? Because austenite is present up to 2.14%, and if you just raise the temperature up to 1200, or let us say no need to go up to 1200 also, usually we go up to 900 or 912 degrees, because there all the phases of the steel are getting converted into austenite, and if we go beyond that also, there will be austenite only, or there will be a mixture of austenite plus liquid after 1147 degrees centigrade. Okay, but no need to go beyond 900 degrees centigrade. And just by going at 900 degrees centigrade, yes, we are having okay. So when we are going above this 900 degrees centigrade, around 912, above 912, so around 922 degrees centigrade, if we go, then we can land into any of the phase like alpha ferrite also, perlite also, cementite also. Any phase you can land depending upon the microstructure or the cooling rate, or you can also retain with the austenite also. So we will study this mechanism very shortly. Okay, so that is the steely part. You should understand that from 0% carbon to 2.14% carbon, whatever the mixture of iron and carbon is there, that is termed as steel. It is ductile and malleable in nature, as well as it is having strength. And whatever the mixture of iron and carbon from 2.14%, or in some book it is written as 2.2% carbon also. So from 2.2% carbon to 6.7% carbon, it is termed as cast iron. Beyond 6.7%, whatever phases of iron and carbon mixture that we are getting, they are not at all useful for any purpose. So that's why they are not into our the consideration of this study. Not chemically, not mechanically, anything is not at all useful if we go on adding the percentage of carbon beyond 6.7% carbon. One of the reason not to go beyond 6.7% carbon is that FeC, that is iron carbon, is the mixture of iron in the interstitial space of the carbon. So when we go beyond this 6.7%, then what is going to happen? That mixture is already saturated with carbon. So beyond this point, whatever that you are going to add, that is just going to add one layer of carbon on another layer of carbon. So it means that it is not at all useful, means it is not a mixture also. So that's why our study is restricted only up to 6.7% of carbon. Okay. So these many justifications that I have given to you. So the difference between cast iron and steel is clear in your mind. Above 2.14% carbon, cast iron. Below 2.14% carbon, steel. Reaction eutectic, eutectoid, peritectic. Eutectic, liquid getting converted into austenite Fe3C, eutectoid, austenite getting converted into alpha Fe3C, and peritectic, where delta is getting converted into liquid plus austenite. So we have seen this eutectic reaction. This is eutectoid reaction. So A1 is the eutectoid reaction. Eutectic reaction is not given any name, but it is happening at 1147 degrees centigrade. And this is peritectic reaction here. Can you observe this? 1493 degrees centigrade. All the reaction in the iron carbon diagram are isothermal reaction. Means all the reaction happen at sharp temperature, like you can see here, 1147 degrees centigrade, 227 degrees centigrade, 1493 degrees centigrade. So whatever we are talking right now, you can write down in your answer sheets also about all these details about FECD diagram depending upon the time available with you. Because if we go on discussing, the scope of this diagram is very high. Okay, so I am trying to give my maximum so that you can understand the properties and the heat treatment processes, right? So ध्यान में रहेगा ये चीज, यूटेक्टॉइड पहले at 727, 1147 पे यूटेक्टिक और 1493 पे पेरिटेक्टिक. These temperature are very essential, and all these reactions are happening at the sharp point and isothermal reactions. So 4.3% carbon is required for eutectic reaction, 0.76% carbon is required for the eutectoid reaction, and for peritectic reaction 0.16% carbon is required. So sharp melting points, or sorry, sharp temperature points and sharp composition points should be there in order to perform these reactions. Here we are getting, means delta is getting converted into austenite plus liquid or austenite. So here there is not at all, means this tie line which is straight here, that line is shown by this particular transformation line. Okay, and this is ACM line which is having cementite composition present. After this line, cementite is present. So if these things are clear into your mind, then eutectic reaction we have discussed. This is the lead burite structure. That means the mixture of Fe3C and austenite. So whatever white spots are there, that are the cementite, and the black spots are there, that are the austenites. And this is the mixture. So you can see here, there are some parts in the grain depending upon the cooling cycle. There are some parts where austenite is precipitated, and there are some part where cementite is precipitated. So white is the cementite. Okay, so cementite is also precipitated. Sorry, I have made a mistake. I'm very sorry for that. Cementite is the black portion is the cementite. It is having higher density. That's why it is getting, means not many electrons are passing through that phase, and that phase is restricting the, this is the TEM, that means the transmission electron microscopic image. This is not general microscope image. If you are going to use the light optical microscope, then you are not going to get such type of images. These such type of images wherein you have to understand the phases and the composition of the phases and the nature of the presence of the phases, those can only be possible if you are using another microscope, sophisticated microscope. One is the transmission electron microscope, another is the scanning electron microscope. So TEM and SEM are the two short forms which are given to that, and another is the XRD, that is the X-ray diffraction microscope. So all these microscopes are useful for obtaining such type of images. So here black spots are nothing but cementite and white spots are nothing but the austenite. In order to change this mixture into lead burite, means 150-50%, like that, if this composition should appear homogeneous, then you have to apply a sufficient cooling rate. Now the meaning of cooling rate is that the amount of withdrawal of heat, means the rate by which I am withdrawing the heat from that particular mixture. Okay, so development of microstructure in eutectic alloys, this we have discussed. लिक्विड है पहले, मैक्सिमम पार्ट आपका कन्वर्ट होता है ऑस्टेनाइट में, ग्रेन बाउंड्रीज बनती है और उसमें फिर आपका Fe3C न्यूक्लिएट होके आपको इस तरीके से यूटेक्टिक अलॉय मिलता है, जो कि मिक्सचर रहता है Fe3C प्लस ऑस्टेनाइट का. नाउ eutectic reaction, eutectoid reaction. Eutectoid reaction is happening with 0.76% carbon at 727 degrees centigrade, where austenite, which is at 0.76 degrees centigrade, sorry, which is at 0.76 percentage of carbon. If this carbon percentage is not 0.76 now, you are not going to get these two phases. Then why I am saying so, you can again come back to this diagram in this particular position. You can see here, this is the eutectic point, 0.76%. Okay, let me, yes, eutectic point at 726 degrees centigrade and 0.76 or 0.83% of carbon percentage, 0.76 or 0.83 percentage of carbon, depending upon the books the diagrams are changing. Here it is 0.76, here in this particular slide it is 0.83%, but you should consider this as 0.8. Let us take it as 0.8 percentage of carbon. At this particular point, what is happening, if the austenite is present at this blue line only, then only you are going to get perlite, means 100% perlite. Now what is perlite, how it is formed, that mechanism is similar to the formation of the lead burite structure. Perlite and lead burite structure are formed in the similar type of mechanism. The only difference is that here we are getting transformation from liquid to solid, and here we are getting transformation from one solid to two other solids, right? So here what is happening, one layer of, or one streak of alpha ferrite will be there and one streak of cementite will be there, and the mixture will be called as perlite mixture. Let us see in detail how it is happening. Eutectoid reaction. This is the microstructure of the perlite. You can see here, this is the pearl-like structure. Means it is, first of all, it is very shiny phase. Means appearance of this phase, pearlitic phase, is very shiny. And second thing is that it is having a microstructure wherein one streak of cementite is there and alpha ferrite is there. But the carbon percentage here is 0.8%, and for cementite we require how much percent? 6.67% carbon. And for alpha ferrite, we require how much percent? 0.008%. Okay. So the same type of mechanism is going to be followed here also. Here also, due to the nucleation of the alpha ferrite phase, there will be a rich amount of supply of carbon to the adjacent layer of which is already in austenite, and due to which the Fe3C crystal, that means the cementite crystals, are also going to nucleate and grow along with the alpha ferrite crystal. You can see here alpha ferrite crystals are growing along with the Fe3C. You can see here these streaks are of what? Fe3C crystals. And due to this growth, simultaneous growth, we are getting this particular type of the crystal structure. Let me use the laser pen. This particular type of microstructure can only be obtained if you are having austenite which is at 0.8%. Okay, so is it clear? But still, I would like to comment out of this iron carbon diagram, means practically still even after this decomposition of austenite into perlite, some amount of austenite is always present in the form of retained austenite. Okay, so this thing you should keep in your mind right now, that there is a concept of retained austenite. We will see what is the effect of retained austenite on the physical properties. One more thing that you should consider here is that the nucleation of the perlite is happening at the grain boundaries of the austenite. So only at the grain boundaries the new phase is going to nucleate, right? So in case of the is it not changing? I don't know why. In case of this diagram also, here also you can see that Fe3C is nucleated where? At the boundaries, grain boundaries of the austenitic crystals, right? So the same thing are happening here also. The grain boundary, you can see here austenitic grain boundary is there, and here we are getting the streaks of alpha ferrite and the cementite, and the appearance of this is going to be like this. And the mixture which is at this point is called as the eutectoidal mixture, and perlite is getting formed out of it. The mixture which is at left hand side of this perlite is called as hypoeutectoid, which is having maximum amount of ferrite sites and minimum amount of perlitic sites. As you go from this, means suppose you are at this point, okay, suppose you are at a 0.7% carbon, then you are going to get ferrite site more than perlite site if you are at 0.8%. Are you able to understand? Now if you are at 0.5%, then you are going to get comparatively large amount of alpha ferrite sites than the perlite sites. You can see here, that thing you can see in this diagram. In this diagram you can see here, this is the precipitation of alpha ferrite. Here means more amount of alpha ferrite is present, and this let me draw some lines. This is the grain boundary here, like this. This is the grain boundary here. Here this grain is called as perlite, 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 perlite. This is also perlite, but here alpha ferrite is more. Like this is the alpha ferrite is more here, and some sites of perlite are there, or we can say that alpha ferrite plus Fe3C. Okay, so but the complete composition of this complete diagram is how much? Suppose 0.5%. Okay, so this is how we have to study this thing. I think it is sufficient for today. We'll stop here. If any doubts are there, I have already uploaded these particular slides. All these slides are already uploaded on Moodle. You can go through that, and if any confusion is getting into your mind, then you can arrange a extra class Google Meet, right? So if many of you are having still having confusion, then we can meet at 4 p.m. also after completion of this class in order to once again discuss all these details. Anyhow, this recording is also available. I am uploading this recording continuously on YouTube, and that link is available at Moodle. You can go through that and try to subscribe to my channel also, because it will going to create a verified channel. I need just 10 subscriptions in order to get the verified channel. Okay, so we'll stop here. If any doubts, questions are there, you can ask right now by unmuting or from the chat box. Should we arrange some extra class after 4 p.m.? Should we have some class at 4 p.m.? Repeat telecast of this that class? No, you should not worry about the attendance and all the details, because attendance will not be taken for that class.